Powerful stuff.
Very powerful. Donna, you know, as a parent that, you don't think it'll happen to your child. You certainly hope it won't, but it can. That's the reality. Last spring, an ATV accident changed the life of 15-year-old Wyatt. It was a devastating time for him and his family. After months in hospital, Wyatt came home in a wheelchair.
Everything, of course, was different. Life had turned upside down, and that's when his family turned to Variety, the children's charity. Variety stepped in where the health care ended, and they gave Wyatt a chance to regain something that he'd lost, his independence.
Unless you have a life-altering, life-and-death situation, crash, or accident, you never really know the true meaning of life.
I try not to cry for Wyatt because the mom has to be strong, but it was very hard, and we cried for several hours. It was almost of a feeling of we mourned for his legs, and it was very sad, and it lasted for hours, very sleepless night. But is those times in the night, which I think are the hardest for Wyatt, hardest for me, and it's just very sad.
Well, basically, I was on my quad in the field over there, and I crashed it. And I broke my back and 8 of my ribs and this shoulder blade. Yeah. Got flown to Vancouver Children's Hospital and had like a 7.5-hour surgery. They basically took the bone off the spinal cord to relieve all the swelling that was around it. And also, since they had to fuse those 2 broken vertebrae, they had to put rods and screws in my back to keep me from flopping over, so yeah.
He has an incomplete spinal cord injury, and what that means for him is he's sensory incomplete. He has some sensation below the level of his fracture. To us, that means that over time, there is chance of recovery of sensation and possibly motor as well. It's hard to know if that'll translate into him walking again or not, and only time will tell.
He might walk in a couple months, he might walk in a year and a half, but in the meantime, he wants to just participate with life, right?
For a 15-year-old who loves the outdoors and is actively involved with Scouts, the uncertainty of not knowing when or even if he will walk again is incomprehensible. The accident changed Wyatt's life in an instant and took away the independence that most teenagers crave. Daily routines have changed, and Wyatt relies on his family now more than ever. Even getting around his home proved to be difficult. Stairs he could once climb proved to be a major challenge and threatened to isolate him from what Wyatt needs the most, his family. To help Wyatt, Variety, the children's charity, stepped in where healthcare ended and funded a wheelchair lift in his home. This lift gives Wyatt the ability to move about his house whenever he wants.
We've had a 15-year-old son who's been very independent. To go back to mom, in the lift, of course, he said I can go outside, spend the day out. He could stay at home by himself. No one would need a caregiver to fetch for him. He could be very independent.
It'd be pretty boring just sitting downstairs. My mom would have to get everything for me that upstairs. I don't think my mom would like that, like every 5 seconds, ma'am, can you get this? Yeah.
It costs a lot of money to have a lift or to modify a home so that someone in a wheelchair can get around. And I don't think it's the type of thing that most families could afford. I think what Variety has done is fantastic.
I never noticed how much Variety does until you need Variety. When you have a life tragedy, I think it's amazing your community that pulls in. Friends or acquaintances have been so supportive. It's nice to belong to a community.
We can't say enough how important it is for those community supports to make Wyatt feel accepted back into the community that he came from before his injury.
The lift Variety gave Wyatt is in his home, but his sense of belonging and being able to participate in life goes far beyond those 4 walls.
Every few days, we just wow, you did that, you can do that. And I saw him play basketball yesterday, and I saw him shoot the ball and get the ball in the hoop. Yeah, he's learning all kinds of stuff, it's great. So one aspect, yes, is very sad, but on the other hand, he's also feeling the emotion of accomplishment as well. So I'm hoping they will both kind of balance themselves out. Every time he has a moment, we'll strive on.
And we're so pleased that Wyatt and his family can be here now. Wyatt, his mom and dad and his sister have joined us here, come from Kelowna. It's so great that you could come. Wyatt, it's been almost a year since your accident. How are you doing?
I'm doing really, really good, yeah.
And being here with Variety Club, you know, we have so many people watching who are sitting at home wondering, hearing your story, being so moved by it, but wondering, of all the places to donate money, is this the best place? What would you tell people who are wondering that?
I'll definitely say this is the best place to donate money because it could happen to anyone, basically, yeah.
It could happen to anyone's child, right? So what difference did Variety make in your day-to-day life? What can you do now that you wouldn't be able to do without their help?
Well, if I have a bunch of friends over and my mom needs to go out or my parents and no one's home, if I need water or anything, I can go up to my stairs in my kitchen, my living room, and cook and stuff like that.
So it gives you freedom, gives you independence, right?
And I was able to have Christmas with my family this year, which was really nice, upstairs with our Christmas tree and stuff.
And Debbie, that must have just made your year, being able to do that.
Yes, it was. We had a large family Christmas this year, and it was nice to have 14, 15 people around the kitchen table, and Wyatt was included in that. And it would have been very sad to have had Wyatt down in the living room while everybody's cooking and feasting upstairs.
It's the Variety Club who helped you, support you in getting the lift and the ramp to your house, right?
Yes.
So without that and without Variety's help, where would you be now?
We would probably have some 2x4s and a piece of plywood, and we would have tried to adapt because that's what I would imagine most people do when they don't have Variety for support. Mm-hmm. They adapt. Mm-hmm.
So I'd ask you too, Debbie, for people who are watching us now wondering about what to donate to, what charity to support, what pitch would you make for why Variety is so important in your son's life?
Well, we're so touched with the generosity of Variety. The versatility of Variety. It doesn't seem to matter in which direction. If we needed a lift, accommodations, they seem to be ready and able to help anybody. Mm-hmm. And I would recommend Variety definitely for the rest of our life. It will be our choice to donate. And we raise quite a bit of money, so...
Yeah, and that's what you'd ask people to do right now, too,
yes,
right?
That's what we're wanting everybody to do. I have been wanting to say, please make those phones ring. Yeah. For all the years I've watched Variety, I have always wanted to say, please, everybody, just pick up the phones and ring.
Now, I know that when you were at Sunny Hill, Wyatt, you met a very special friend of Variety's, Rick Hansen. Can you tell us about what that moment was like for you?
That was pretty cool meeting a famous person because I've never met like a celebrity or anything like that before, so that was pretty cool.
Do you remember what he said to you?
I know he was very supportive of my good attitude that I had toward my accident and everything that's happened to me. And I think that was one of the main things you said.
Well, we're very pleased on the 50th anniversary of the telethon to have a chance for you and your family to meet Rick Hansen again. We asked him to be here, and he said yes in an instant.
Cool.
So, Rick, if you can come on in.
How are you? Good to see you.
Hey.
How are you, man? Great to see you.
You are a wonderful man.
Thank you. Good to see you.
Rick Hansen, what a moment. I know you've made such a difference in so many people's lives. What does it mean for you to be here today?
You know, it's an honor to be here. Variety does such incredible work, and to be able to come and really show the examples of how people can actually make a difference. You know, Wyatt had a challenge and his whole family was affected, but those barriers could be removed. And when people get together and create a lift opportunity, Wyatt's potential is unlimited.
And you and your wife do this work all the time, supporting families like Wyatt. Why is it so important to you, Amanda?
Well, you know, I know for a fact what it means to Rick to be able to meet someone like Wyatt. I think it gives him a real sense of hope and inspiration as well. So it kind of goes both ways. But I know for Rick, even when he was young and first injured, it was someone coming to talk to him about what life could possibly be like. And I know how much of a difference that made.
Seeing possibilities for the future. And we know, Wyatt, how much you love the outdoors. We've heard that from your mom and dad. And we're hoping to get you back to some of those activities that you did in your community before the accident. So our friends from People in Motion put together a video to encourage you to participate things back home in Kelowna, get involved with some of the sports programs that are offered there. Let's take a look.
Hi, Wyatt. My name is James, and I'm with People in Motion. And we're located right here in your hometown of Kelowna, British Columbia. People in Motion is a charitable organization, and for almost 30 years we've been providing adaptive recreational pursuits for people with disabilities right here in the Okanagan. Maybe wheelchair basketball is your speed. Or maybe you like power soccer. And Wyatt, Big White Ski Resort is the host of our adaptive ski program called the Powder Hounds. It's amazing and hugely popular. You're gonna love it. And to get you there, we have our Out and About bus. We've got some amazing activities coming up for you and your friends and family as well. And on March 5th, we have our Ski-a-thon and Family Fun Day. We hope to see you there. Good luck, Wyatt. We'll see you soon.
So Wyatt, People in Motion are providing you with a one-on-one power soccer private lesson with coach Kathy Cunningham. You're going to get a private lesson at Big White Ski Resort through the adaptive ski program. And they want you to invite you to join the wheelchair basketball on Sunday afternoons. Some of the stuff you've been doing already, right? Yeah. So what do you think about all that?
Oh my God, that's so amazing. And it's pretty cool.
It gives you a chance to look forward to being all active again, because that's what you love doing, right?
Yeah.
Debbie, what does it mean to you?
Well, I love seeing them play sports. I think every mother likes to see their children active, and he's good at it. I am really impressed. My son's very good at basketball, and he's now going to be in the BC Winter Games. He's so good. At the end of the month. Yeah.
And thanks to you guys. Thanks to People in Motion. It's terrific to have you here.